What's going on, family? This your boy Big Rilla coming to you with another episode of the Don Diallo podcast. This episode is a very special episode because I don't know if you guys don't know, I started my whole entrepreneurship journey as an herbalist. This brother I got with me today has brought me in, you know what I'm saying, and showed me the ropes, you know, as far as these herbs, and it's really been like my true guidance when it comes down to the herbs and what to do, what not to do. So without further ado, I want to introduce y'all to my brother, big brother, OG Oski, the roots man, you know?
Thanks, King.
Yeah, you like that?
Many blessings. Give thanks. Give thanks. Appreciate it.
So, like, I want to say thank you for coming, for sure. Tell us, who is Oski? Who is the roots man?
Well, I guess let me start with the heritage. I'm a sixth generation Jamaican farmer and herbalist. So, I mean, my family is old. They're like kind of age. I'm the baby of six people, six kids. I had 10 years after the last child, like kind of accident. So like my grandparents died at 103 and 99 years old.
That's a long life, bro.
Yeah, right. In 2013.
Damn,
so like when I was in my teens, they were like in their 90s. You know what I'm saying? 80s and 90s. So my father was a Maroon. I don't know if you know about the Maroons. Maroons were like the original freedom fighters and the original Tainos and indigenous peoples that lived in the Caribbean before colonization.
Right.
And they fought and kept parts of land in Jamaica and whatnot. And they have a intricate relationship with the land. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And then on my mother's side, they were Jamaican farmers. My great-great-great-grandfather, somewhere down the line, was a slave owner, right? And his kids, some of his kids were the slaves. Like he would, mate he would breed up his slaves, and his kids would be slaves too. You know what I'm saying? But they took over the farm and killed him, put him in a pot of boiling sugar, and boiled him to death, and took over that farm. And from there,
that's deep right there.
The farm legacy of my mother's side come in. They ended up having a farm in Croftsville, Jamaica, which is Clarendon, Jamaica, and that farm was pretty much the farm of the community, of the town. Like it's where everybody came for and they had a farm and a farm store. The store was called Pin to an Anchor, and basically, my grandfather was a herbalist. People come to him to get healed. He go to the bush and find them things and bring them back. You know, they had acres of mango trees and everything you can think about. They had it: cows, goat, chicken, duck, hen, everything that you can name.
Wow,
like a decent sized farm, not an industrial agricultural sized farm,
but enough to sustain a community.
Yeah, sustain a community.
For sure,
right.
Heard that.
So they didn't end up coming to all their kids left to the U.S. My parents came up to the U.S., immigrated around, I think, like the late 70s. And they left their kids there at first, and then they first came to New York, and then in Chicago. When they got to Chicago, I was born. I was born like 80.
Okay.
Late 79, 80.
Heard that.
So when I was born, about 8 years after that, in the 80s, my grandparents lost the farm. Craziness happened over there. My grandfather took a bullet in the back.
Oh, wow.
They tried to rob the farm and stuff like that, and he ended up, he kept a bullet in his back for the rest of his life, just a point, till living 103 years old.
A bullet in his back, real gangster. Hey.
That's probably one of the only times he went to the doctor. That time and go to the to have the kids.
Shout out to the OG, man.
Straight up.
Much love to the.
So they moved to Miami in the 80s, and then in 88, my family, my parents moved down to Miami by them. Unwittingly moving straight into the heart of the cocaine cowboys era, straight into the heart of it, right?
Okay.
So when we first moved down there, it took a couple of years to get for my dad to get right. So we wasn't in the slums, but we wasn't in the middle of the city. We was Richmond Heights, South Miami Heights, Cutler Ridge, and in a couple of years.
Let me go back. So going through those different transitions from the agriculture to the cocaine cowboy era, what was it like for you as a child?
I wasn't involved in that. I'm giving you the heritage.
The heritage. Okay.
I was born after the family had immigrated to New York and Chicago, and they were already there. So by the time I was born, everybody was in the U.S. by then.
Yeah, okay.
My grandparents and everything. My grandparents moved probably a little bit after I was born. They moved straight to Miami. What happened was when I was born in Chicago, I was born in Chicago. Wait,
okay, man.
Look, I was born in Chicago.
Hey, look, brother. Hey, look. No, I appreciate it. No, look.
There it goes.
Been a long morning, man. So I got you. I'm following.
So what happened was, by my birth date, I was born in Chicago. My parents had me, and about 8 years after that, about 88, they moved to Miami. So I moved to Miami when I was about 8 years old in 88.
Okay.
And from there, we stuff was Gucci for me, man. Like my grandparents were like the cornerstone. Like my grandfather had about a garden in like 15 different people's backyards at least. What? Like everybody that went to their church and community, he had a full scale garden in their backyard.
So like he talked to him like, hey, let me put a garden in your backyard. Or like, what was it?
That's what he did, man. Like he did it for so long. That was his joy. Like that was his life. Okay. Like everybody that knew him, like that was what it was. It was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know if it was an asking thing. It was like everybody that remember said like we had a thick community of Jamaicans down there. So a lot of these folks knew him from the island. A lot of the folks knew the family, and regardless of what, they all linked up over there. Like, so they've been knowing each other, and we had a deep community of Jamaicans down there. You know what I'm saying?
Heard that.
I grew up with mostly Jamaicans, Cubans, Haitians, and Nicaraguans.
Okay, heard
that. That was most of the folks who were like in my direct vicinity. You know what I'm saying? They had like that area was loaded with it.
It's island,
right? It's island out. So, where was I at now?
You talking about just the heritage? Like you moved to Miami.
All right, so we moved to Miami, and my grandfather was my grandparents, grandfather and grandmother, were like the staple of us. I had a bunch of aunties down there, cousins, all type of stuff.
Big family.
Yeah, big family. Ooh, and like he would come to the house and shell peas, and he would have the harvest from like 15 different backyards in the house. And it'd be food and stuff like by the bushel coming out, and he'd share it out to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. And you know, because why? Because like they don't even push that type of self-reliance anymore. You know, people just grow and just be that. Yeah.
I didn't understand it was something special.
Yeah, nah.
Until I got like I just realized that.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying. When I started messing with doctors, and they were like, "Yo, like what you know all this stuff?" Like they was like, "What the hell? Like how's that?" And I just it started hitting me like, "Damn!" Like wait a minute, nobody. And really, it ain't just, it skips some generation because it ain't just the general population who don't know about it. Like even the family that migrated here, although all my aunties have some type of garden in their backyard, they're all a little bit disconnected. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the whole family is a little bit disconnected from me, and I just happen to catch it a lot because there's a couple different reasons. My mother was really like, when she had me late. They had me about 40 years old. My dad was about 40, so they had me late. She almost died having me. Like she had came here already and didn't know, there was a bunch of holistic health stuff going on at the time like that. You know, you had to like find that type of stuff. So she came here and just jumped into the Western lifestyle and like, you know what I'm saying, was eating fast food and whatever foolishness. And they would eat, not fast food, but like they would eat lots of meat and they would eat like, you know, because they had access to stuff.
Yeah, more access.
So they would eat out a lot and this and that. So anyways, by the time she was with having me, she was unhealthy, right? And she realized at that point, like, wait a minute. And she was going to the doctors and they was giving her a bunch of stuff just to make her worse, basically. And she was like, wait a minute here. Like, I got to do what I know. So she went back to trying to eat how she knew and use the herbs that she knew and get back and start to get into holistic health and understand what it was that her parents were doing. Yeah, so she's like the one in the family who actually got the understanding of what was going on. The rest of her sisters and all didn't really get it properly because they know that there was, they didn't get it, they didn't study it.
And that's crazy because from that effort, probably that would brought you in. For
right. That's absolutely
crazy.
Because this is oral history. These stuff ain't written down. Like he ain't write no list of what to do. He went to the bush and came back with it like, yo, it's this one, and the names of stuff is like
prophetic.
Yeah, it may be the indigenous name of it, not the scientific name. So we know things as like she had to like put things together, put A and B, and like become a holistic healer herself, to heal herself. And then she, my dad didn't take it serious. He was working his ass off. Like, you know, he was a contractor. and he was building stuff. Like by the time I was born, they was out the slums. Like we were in the suburbs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So he had made it properly, but he didn't pay attention to his health, and he caught cancer when I was 11. And he passed when I was 14.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
That's the catalyst.
Yeah.
Like that's how I went from being like, okay, my worst problem before that was I had ADD and ADHD. That was my and Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome.
That's right.
So I had tics as a child. I had like all these different learning type of disabilities, not learning disabilities, but like disabilities that came with these things.
Yeah.
Like I had to be in a certain type of setting. When I was in public school, I got like kicked out of kindergarten, dude. Like you feel me?
You get out of kindergarten.
I mean, because I wouldn't take naps. Like I remember every time the rest of the class was doing a nap, I was at the board playing and doing my thing.
Do your shit.
And then one day my mom came to pick me up and it was like, you went to shoot me to Montessori school.
Yeah.
Montessori school is essentially like a homeschool environment in a school. I excelled in there. You know what I'm saying? I was there till like second grade. They moved to Miami. And we moved to Miami is when like the Tourette syndrome started presenting itself way a lot more.
Yeah.
I started having more tics, very vocal tics, this and that. And they eventually got me checked out. And not checked out, but like got me checked out to get me some more help. And I checked out for gifted stuff. So they put me in gifted class and all that type of stuff. And I was doing good in school because gifted classes are not geared towards the format that's hard for me to follow.
Right,
They're more like let you know, it's more Montessori type of stuff. Gifted classes are geared towards expanding the mind, letting the kids do kind of what they want to do, and project-based learning, and not just like writing stuff and you know those bubble tests.
Guidelines.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a different system. So I excelled pretty good. But when my father got sick
what did I do
at
to
11,
you? What did I do to you?
That's like 91. It's the heart of the crack era in Miami. It's like, this is the time when you need a stable type of home.
Yeah.
My father started passing away. I found out he was dying from then. I kind of hit the street running, man, because really there was no escape from it. It was like everywhere.
It was surrounding you.
Yeah, everywhere. Like even if in that Miami at that time, you were eating off of that drug game, unwittingly or not.
Yeah.
Because the entire economy was supported by it. Like there's banks that are just for cleaning drug money.
Yeah.
Like they're all shut down. Like you understand what I'm saying? It's just a weird ass city. Like it don't make no sense.
For sure.
Like I didn't even realize that it wasn't a real city until I left. You know what I'm saying? Like I looked back like, oh my God, that junk ain't even real. It's like, what? I just came here to Atlanta and seen real industry and real business going on. Like, oh my God, like everything wasn't like just a cover for drug money.
Yeah,
that's kind of everything all I seen. Like everything was
Atlanta got a mix.
It's not real business. It's a real city.
For sure. Yeah.
Miami's a vacation spot, and at that time it was just a vacation spot, and the business of it was moving drugs into the entire rest of the United States.
Yeah.
So, luckily for me, I didn't get caught up in the cocaine shit because around the corner from me was a Rasta family. You feel me? And I'm pretty sure my father knew their father from way back when.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I hit 14 years old, my dad died. Like I became the man of the house. You know, I was the last kid there, so it was only me there, and my parents had 5 kids between my mom and my dad. My mother got raped when she was 15 and had a brother, so he wasn't raising me. But he was so fucked up in the head that his daughter ended up being raised with us. So I had a little sister. So she came to live with us when she was like 4 years old. So she got raised up as, she's like my niece, but she's like 2 years younger than me. I was like an uncle from I was like a year old. She's like a year and a half.
That's our family though. That's
right. So she got raised with my little sister. But anyhow, so that was all who was in the house. So when my pops died, it was me, my little sister, and my mom.
Right.
I became the man of the house. Like I became her father figure.
Yeah,
and unwittingly, I became like the one who it wasn't nobody telling me what to and what not to do.
So like in that, did you have a mindset at that age like this ain't fair, or like or did you kind of like I said, you kind of stepped into it at that young age with your chest out, like let's go, I'm ready for it?
Truthfully, I didn't even know. Like I know one thing. I took what at that time, because here's the thing. I got took under the wing by the Ross family on the corner. The Ross family on the corner. When my pops died, they took me under their wing. So that saved me from from a lot of stuff, because there was a ganja moving family. The pops had a studio, and he had made it that way already. He had produced some tracks from reggae artists in Jamaica back in the days.
Oh wow, okay.
And had already made like his money off the weed already. So he just did like ganja to supplement.
Yeah.
But his son, they had 3 sons. The youngest son was like my road dog, one of my road dogs. The older son, the one over him, became one of the kingpins down south. Like I ain't even gonna say his name. Like anybody who will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure. We talked about it.
Like he took me. I became like his lieutenant because his rise came throughout that time, and that just pretty much kept. Although the weed game had a lot of drama in it as well.
For sure.
It wasn't like clean and blood free and stuff like that, but it wasn't like the coke and crack game.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
You feel me?
Definitely.
It wasn't blocks getting mowed down over weed spots.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? The crack and coke boys, they came to get their weed. They wasn't worried about that wasn't even real money to them. You know what I'm saying? So like, and back then it wasn't no whole bunch of high grade weed. Like we saw the high grade weed come in when like my big brethren got the first M's off of bale weed. Moving in bales from Texas and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And like back up from Jamaica.
Heard that.
So it was like it was heavy. I didn't sell bag weed past like 14, 15. Like after about 15 years old, you hard pressed to get bag weed from me, right? By like 16, it was bows in play.
Bows in play. For
you know what I'm saying?
Heard that. Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you how I got through to my dad passing. I skipped over that.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just listening to you, bro. It's all essential right now, though, man.
It was accidental, man, right? Because we messed with weed, a lot of our clientele was white boys and Chicos. Like we didn't have a ton of we didn't have like a ton of our own color clientele. It was more like the outskirts. So because of that, we got in a lot of the fringe drugs, shrooms, acid.
Yeah, that's how you start messing with psychedelics, basically.
Right,
for sure.
Right. Because it was in there, we serving the white boys and them. They wanted these things, and we had a loot with them.
It's lining up for sure. Yeah.
Eventually, we got a bunch of acid in. Right around when I was 14, acid came in heavy. Big Home was getting by the book, by stacks, by the books. I'm talking about
big motherfucker.
Look like
goddamn a dictionary.
Dictionaries, right?
Fat.
Big stacks of acid.
Yeah.
When my dad died, I started eating that shit, and for some reason, I didn't even know what. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was unwittingly, because now I know all the properties of psychedelics and how they treat trauma and addiction, all these different things. But like my experience, and the doctors and nurses I work with tell me don't talk about this shit, but I'm going to anyways because it's significant. You feel me? The thing is that it's not related to me being off throughout the time. It's related to me being steady. It's related to balancing me. Like I took acid for 2 years almost daily from 14 to 16 years old. I was popping it just all the time. Like that was like my drug of choice, right? The acid and weed. I was smoking weed all the time, of course. I've been smoking weed since I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was treating the Tourette syndrome and everything. I would like do better in class if I smoked weed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Like it wasn't. It was treating the Tourette syndrome tics and everything. It slowed me down, helped me to focus, and in ways that the medications couldn't either. Because I went to remember, by the time I hit puberty and I started freaking out.
Yeah, for sure.
I started hitting that street and everything, man. Like, you know, they try to get my medication.
Right, and then you said that you told me that wasn't working for you. Though.
Bro. I started taking it. I would take it here. If they were making have me drop jewel on the desk, and I mean, I've been prescribed Haldol, Clonidine, what was the other one? Depakote, Wellbutrin, Cerazone, all type of crazy ass medications that would have mashed me up.
It had you just brain dead.
Right.
Okay.
I couldn't even do what I wanted to do. Like I couldn't even I wanted to do good in school and I couldn't.
Off the medication, off the shit that y'all get. Yeah.
Right.
Crazy.
So anyways, I bucked on all the medications. I haven't took any of them longer than a week or so. But you know what I'm saying? When I eventually, because I feel like shit, bro. I take them and I'm like, I'm feeling crazy, dude. Like I ain't trying to feel like that.
Yeah.
So I self-medicated myself. And between 14 and 16, I took this acid, and on my 16th birthday, I had like this life-changing acid trip, man. Like I thought I died. and came back. I thought I died every day. I swore I died. Like I told people, tell people I said bye. I was ashamed of going out like that. I was kind of like, damn, why I'm gonna go out like this, yeah, man? Damn, dying on drugs, dog. Jimi Hendrix said that shit. What is this, dog? Everything, bro.
Nigga thought he overdosed. Hey,
I could have sworn. I thought I didn't know what it was.
If you thinking that you overdosed, you're not overdosed.
Right.
that's what we know now. Anybody who did.
Right. I had no idea, man. Yeah. I mean, and we've come from an era like it ain't all like. That's why I'm not. That's why. And you don't get because I don't call myself a shaman. Because a shaman is like someone who leads someone through these spirits. Like I come from an era. I was definitely
gonna get into that, but yeah,
right.
Gotcha. Yeah, go ahead.
I come from an era where nobody helps you, bro.
Yeah,
you start tripping out, niggas start laughing and pointing like, ha 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 ha. It's funny to them. It's a big joke now. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So I had to work it out myself. And from that trip right there, I quit everything. I quit all drugs, even weed.
So you went to a phase of basically fasting from the whole drug altogether.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Okay, yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
I didn't smoke weed. I didn't do anything for like till I was like 17. I picked up cigarettes heavy. I started smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
And then when I was 17, a year after, I said, let me dip my toe back in the water. My homeboy was taking acid again. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take one, man. I ain't scary no more. You know what I'm saying?
Oscar, you hell, man.
I ain't
Nigga said, I'm gonna just dip my toe with acid.
I ain't died. You know, did you die? I did not.
Yeah, you did. Hey, you didn't die. You right here talking to us.
Right. So I said, let me go ahead and do it. And at that time, I took it, and I had bought a pack of cigarettes. I bought like 2 packets. I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes when I was tripping acid.
Okay.
And I was like, I bought 2 packets of cigarettes. I took the acid, and as soon as it started hitting me, I smoked one square. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of these shits, bro. And I ain't smoke a cigarette again for like years.
Yeah.
I quit that junk right there, and I was like, that's when and from there till I was about 18 years old, I was like completely everything free. Like I wasn't even smoking no weed, no cigarettes. I was just hustling, moving work and
you think that equate like you hustling and doing what you're doing, you think you focused better when you wasn't on nothing?
It wasn't at that point in time. Yeah, just because. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was where I started crutching. My crutch was exercise. I started exercising, and like I started getting like into like a fanatic almost. 'Cause my big homie was doing it too.
Yeah.
Mind you, the same dude that was giving me the packs was like picking up to go to the gym.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And he never ate no meat, never. And it was funny back in the day because he like one of the original, Rasta vegans. Like, folks, the only folks who ate not meat back in the days was Rastas. All this vegan and plant-based shit wasn't even around yet, bro. Like it was normal.
Normal,
to us, our community, because it was Rasta.
Rasta.
But he was the only one in his of the kids who followed his father in like the eating habits and stuff. Yeah. Even his dad, like only ate vegan in the house. Everybody else ate some sort of like little meat here and there, but he was the one who came out, don't touch no meat, but no nothing. And like because I idolized him and looked up to him.
Right.
It's like I took on those when I started getting myself right. Getting myself right was identifying what he did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I know like the male role model and figure are so important because like
very for sure.
We watching like the kids are watching.
They
anyhow, he end up pretty much putting me on to a health journey that I kept up. I was feeling real good, riding a bike to the gym every morning, not eating no meat, everything. I full plant-based till about 21 years old. I say 20. So from about 17, 18 to about 20. You know what I'm saying? Got myself right. I was overweight before that. I was super overweight as a kid, like just because I didn't think about eating habits. I ate as much as I wanted to eat.
You just ate.
Yeah, and the when I took the medication for a little bit there, they kind of messed up my brain and had me like overeating and stuff as well. I think it has something to do with it because I had direct weight gain around that time of era when I was like trying out medications. When like 11 years old, that's when my weight shot up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then from 14 to 16, it shot up again too.
And that's when you
my pops died. You know what I'm saying? So
stress,
it was like
stressy.
Right, like a stress type of thing as well. Anyhow, from there, actually, from 14 to 16, it kind of started going down. Sorry, yeah, it was at its height at 14, and my dad started going down. Like I was, like I ain't had enough time to eat. feel me?
Heard that. Yeah, heard that.
We
Yeah,
running the street so hard, like it was eat on the fly, like you know what I'm saying?
You could catch a burger or something.
Yeah,
running. Yeah,
whatever,
sure.
bro. Like you know, so it wasn't healthy, but it was not thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Long story short, get to about 19 years old, and what kept us safe also was because the big homie advanced so quickly. You know what I'm saying, that he was in the millions before I was like in the teens. His little brother, my road dog,
For sure.
he ended up catching a robbery charge and caught 5. Right, so like right around the time when I was like 18, about 18 years old. No, I was about 17. He's a year older than me. About 17, he caught a robbery charge and got took on 5 years. And like we never was like robbers and stuff like that, like, you know what I'm saying? But there were times that dudes would get at competition, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that they weren't, you know, too much food on the plate. But we always got taught, you know, that we don't do that type of stuff. If you rob, no one is eventually people are not gonna want to cop from you, bro. Like you're gonna lose your customers. Yeah. You gotta become a robber now. And that shit don't never last. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta keep everybody gonna do nothing around you no more, bro. So we weren't robbing, especially, and that shit happened right there. And he went down for like, he got the 5-piece. We were like still young, like, bro,
that's a long.
Out of nowhere like that, bro. He a good dude. Like he was just like getting his bands together, man. Had just put up like about 30 bands. You feel me? Had just was about to cop himself a fresh car. Like he was doing it. He was doing good.
That's how you go down to the.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Anyhow, so like about 19 now, the big homie get hit by the feds. You know what I'm saying?
That's the one who put you on. Okay, yeah.
So that right there was like the next world-ending thing, because we never had, what kept us safe a lot is we never had to search for no plug. We never had to be looking for nothing, bro. Like, we was the plug. Like, when it came to that herb shit, like, we didn't have to shop around. We didn't have to, like, everybody knew what it was, dude. And there wasn't no, like, pressure about it like that.
Yeah.
Because we had the numbers so right that you'd be a fool to fuck with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, you gonna eat. You can't help but eat. You know what I'm saying? You can't help it. But when he got hit, man, and he got like 3 years fed time, and that's when the darkness came, because like then the plugs was gone. Like we had kind of got cocky with it, like, you know what I'm saying, like we don't need no more stuff, like, and then, you know, when that shit happened, it's like that's when like that's when I had to move to the city and start messing with, you know, the different drugs and start trapping for real. Like it was all survival shit that time. Like we did not move fast enough at that time. So, but the thing was, I was always around my Cubans and Nicaraguans, them. They was always like, you feel me? Tight with me. Like that was like my little, that was my crew right there. You know what I'm saying?
Heard that.
And them boys had started growing weed around that time. They had been growing it, and we all grew weed like throughout childhood, bro. Like everybody grew weed.
Nobody grew it. None of them, like just from crib. Yeah.
Right. Like we all grew weed like for sport, for a sport. Like the park where we would chill at would have weed plants going around. So everybody put their shit down there. You know what I'm saying? Put the weed, the seeds would fall out. And like some of us may have a weed plant growing in their backyard just for the fuck of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because we roster youths. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we understand the herb as a plant, and like so it isn't like something that and in Miami it's so Caribbean and so full of crack and coke, like no one really cared about weed like that. Yeah. Like police pull you over and be like, "What you got? You got crack, coke, dope in it? You got guns in the car?
You got some? What you got?
I got weed, man. Man, get out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't even mess with no weed, bro. Get the fuck out of here. They ain't worry about no weed and shit. So weed was really, you know, kind of free with it, but the Chicos, them that I mess with, started going pro and booming houses. These are the dudes that put Miami in competition with California with the high grade weed in the beginning.
Heard that.
When Miami came into the game with Bowman Grow Houses, it was the second leading producer, or South Florida period was second leading producer of indoor ganja to California. Because everything that hit that state do that. If it's illicit underground drug money, it's going because that's all they know down there. Just like the freaking pill mills. When they started doing, all the doctors just went dirty. Like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying?
Fuck it, let go.
All they know is that, bro. It's the culture of like, you know what I'm saying? It comes over everything. And because the city was built on it, there's nothing real there. So everybody's like on the edge of struggling. Everybody on the edge of doing some illegal shit to get right. And when some come through, it's like,
Right. So
You
like,
know what I'm saying?
So like from all that, where did you get like the holistic thing started to like
Well,
push through for you?
that would be post prison, man. Like,
Okay, word. So no.
first I learned how to grow weed.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the Chicos was booming in indoor houses, and they eventually. That's how I escaped the crack game. Because like learning how to grow weed, I was selling crack at that time.
For sure.
I had to set up trap spots and go through it with go through the
Yeah.
we was in Little Haiti,
Yeah, I got
you know what I'm saying,
I got
and we was in up off of our people's was Purple Castle off of 6-1.
Okay.
So that's like down the street from where all the John Doe shit was going on.
Heard that. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we ended up posted up over by 7, 6, and 4th Street Northeast in Little Haiti.
Okay.
And that's where we had a little trap over there. And like we went at it with the Zoes, and we ended up coming back down with them. And you know, like anyhow, it was a lot of bullshit that I ain't want to be around. And that's my mom had moved up to here already.
Oh, so she left you down here.
She left down here. She moved up here like about 99. I was like 19. On that same time, Big Homie got locked up.
Yeah.
She moved.
So all right. So like your psyche in that, because I can imagine what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? Well, I can't imagine what that feels like to lose your kind of like that was your figure, and then from the prison, and now your mom just kind of dipped out. Did you?
She had to go.
I mean, honestly, okay. So yeah,
shit was getting real.
So what was your mind? Yeah, your mind was just like you were glad that she left.
I wanted to come up here with her, but I didn't understand this yet. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All I knew was down. I had lived in it for so long, so deep that when I came up here, this city just confused me, bro. It was like all this black entrepreneurs. I was like, I can't even hang with it. Like I ain't feel like what am I gonna do up here? Get in the streets and get killed by one of the land niggas? Like that's all it is. I couldn't see myself because I didn't know the other lanes yet.
Right.
So I went straight back down to what I know, who I know, and you know.
And fast forward, you one of them guys. We're gonna just put that up in there. You one of them guys. I'm gonna give you your flowers.
Been a long road.
Yeah, for sure.
But while I was trapping and shit like that, I was learning how to grow weed. The Chicos them was teaching me how to grow weed. I have my youngers now. Like the next generation after me, they learned from my mistakes. They got it right. Like those are the ones who came and took me back after prison. Like, cause all of us got beat up and tore down. But the ones who I brought up, like that's the ones who like are out there, you know, breeding and collecting the land races and doing genetics, and like they advanced into the knowledge of cannabis past just making money off it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
we was booming grow houses and using newts, and we didn't know what type of organic. We was trying to get the biggest crop as possible and ship it out.
Shit,
you know what I'm saying?
Get the bread from it, yeah.
Period. And so I learned how to grow weed, and by the time I was about 21 or so, I stopped serving dope and shit because I was growing enough weed to sell weed.
Right.
I got an apartment, growing weed in the back, selling it right out the front door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I'd be like around folks back then. They're still fresh and new. Like everybody ain't have high grade ass weed like that. Like it isn't. You know what I'm saying? It's still overpriced and you know what I'm saying? It's getting more popular.
I heard that.
But it's like, you know, it's still like it's very lucrative.
Yeah,
I could grow in my closet and make money off of that shit to survive. Along with other, you know, plays and stuff I, you know,
put together for some
girlfriends. I usually mess with girls who dance and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Hustler mentality, yeah.
So right. So it'd always be like some type of group thing going on.
Okay.
But anyhow, about 24 I caught the first house to do growing in, to grow properly.
Grow properly.
And I boomed off one crop. House just about paid for. And then I boomed off 2 crops. House about paid for. On the third one, it was not gonna just pay for the house. It was gonna pay for the house, get me another one almost paid, and then I would still have bread left over. Like I was gonna be good. I was gonna be able to stop for a second, and then like maybe have 2 different houses going at the same time, and you know what I'm saying?
Build yourself that little cushion for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But everything went to shit, man. It got hit. The dude who had the house name in, went and got jammed for something up in Tampa, and was facing going back to prison. I was still in the mind from that in them times, like the niggas didn't snitch, because I was in the mind from that people don't do what I don't do. I didn't realize that everybody ain't like me.
Yeah.
I still ain't get it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
a snitch was a weirdo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it was
yeah.
people like you didn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just so like. And on top of that, we come up in an era like you know what you're doing.
Right. So don't.
Like we knew who was going, bro.
You knew the
feel me?
consequence of your action.
Yeah, we knew, bro.
Yeah,
Like when it was time for me to go, like it wasn't no. I knew. Like you took this long, like. You feel me? Like we knew, bro.
Yeah,
It was a cemetery of that. That's all we seen happening.
And that's crazy that you think like that. Cause a lot of these folks, I think they doing them now. They don't think they even pay attention to the consequence. They don't know the consequence.
They didn't fast forward. Like they're not looking at the real world. Looking at this device in front of their face.
For sure.
They're not looking at like in our day. You had to see all of it.
Right.
You couldn't just see somebody flossing their bread.
Right. You ain't just
you had to see the blood on the street.
The highlight reel.
Right.
Yeah. The highlight reel.
You had to see the highlight reel, bro.
Fuck that.
You had to see you had to step in the blood on the street to look at that nigga niceness. You feel me? Like you had to see. You saw all that shit. It was in front of your face. So the dudes who ain't want that shit stayed away. Now it's a lot of folks who don't want it and not for it who getting into it. They think it's cool. They think it's funny. And they don't realize, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? They still giving out real time.
Nigga do not do, they don't be thorough.
You still going to the morgue.
They take that ass and then become a woman.
Right. And the thing is, like, I seen when I was going in, man, like, and so when I got hit, they hit me and tried to make it out to be a Pablo Escobar thing, man. Okay, in actuality, I'd have got about 60 pounds out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But because they came in and weighed it full of plants, they weighed out to 121 pounds because it was still bush. They didn't get me in bud. And the nigga, because he didn't know what I was doing, the dude that told him that was a safe house because he knew me from back. He knew me who I was. So he told him what he thought was in there. It's a safe house. There's about 1,000 pounds of weed in there.
Oh man,
ton of weed in that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they came in looking for that, and they busting out ceilings in the walls and everything, trying to find the goddamn. And all they got was the plants. So they had to weigh them plants all and make it up to a case. And I still got charged with what they came for. So that's what my charge say. 20,000 pounds.
Yeah, but
and also they charged me for 100 pounds because back then the guidelines was like 100 pounds to 20,000 pounds you get the same charge. It's trafficking. Cannabis freaking trafficking and your ass going in.
Yeah, you
got 100, they dropped it down to like 50 and then 25. Right, now it's like 25 to 20,000. You get this first rank. And the next one was 20,000 to 100,000. You get a next level of trafficking. You know what I'm saying? So I was on this level of trafficking right here.
In the middle of the ground.
And because they found guns in the house, it was armed.
Oh.
So this was a 30 to life. Like the prosecutor came out to me first time, my first court day was like, "Did you take 30? Did you take 30? I was like, I was like, what is this bitch talking? I ain't no lawyer yet. You feel me? I was still up in going through the processes. I was like, all right, just chill, bro. Like I still got some lawyer fees now. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just calm down.
Yeah.
But when I got my lawyer, the lawyer wasn't even a drug lawyer, man. He was a fucking.
That's crazy.
He actually desegregated schools in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, word.
He was like, but what he was like this with the judge.
Ooh.
And I got family members who know, I got family members in law and shit, like who know who's who. So they was like, use this dude because, you feel me? And then they knew him too as well. He's down with the goddamn judge. Like, forget all the rest of the shit. The judge was known for banning people. Like, that judge right there it was said that he got on the bench saying that he was gonna give out 1 million years before he get off. He was in a wheelchair. His name was Kaplan. Everybody talked about him like terrified of that man, bro.
1 million years. That
he said it was said that he was. I'm gonna give out 1 million years before I get up off here. There was rumors that like he in the wheelchair because a nigga robbed because he some home invasion and shot him in his back and that's why he's so tough. Like all kind of rumors of why he's so tough. And his son is a judge too. Motherfucker. So like you got Kaplan, the daddy. Oh shit,
the dad of son.
Oh, it's over for you, bro. The son might give you a judge. The daddy, but anyhow. My court case was done like all behind closed doors. It was just he go into the goddamn thing and talk to the man and make him the court date. They talk about Christmas dinners and having fun together and stuff like that in the courtroom, bro. Like, so it looked like wasn't nothing going on. But it came down to the end of it when I fought charges for 2 years, and I couldn't hustle. I couldn't sell no weed. So I was like, I was doing all kind of like I was basically doing security for dancers to keep myself from losing everything. You know what I'm saying? Money is just sieving out. I can't really make nothing. So like, you know, the girls who I mess with, and mind you, let me tell you this, my wife, my now wife got hit with me.
Yeah.
I forgot to talk about it. That's important. She got hit with me, bro. Like, and they try to play her against me, and she wouldn't tell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm married to her now. Like, you feel me? Like,
solid. Y'all hear that?
Solid. Man. You know what I'm saying?
God damn. Hey, much love to her.
Yeah, straight up.
Much
man.
love to the queen.
Straight
for
up.
sure. For
straight
sure.
Up. She was facing some real time, man, and they try to scare her into it, like, you know, put her shoes by the door, like, you know, get about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And she wouldn't go. She wouldn't tell. So they gave her 15 months. And long story short, I ended up getting 18 months. She got 15 months, which was like, for her, that was hard, man. I wanted her to get off free, but I took my time before her. And when I took my time already, and I was going in, the prosecutor then made a run for her, like, man, what, like she was going to take it to trial. And then her lawyer was also a different lawyer who wasn't as down, and he scared her into taking the plea.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, if you know, they got this and that evidence and yada, yada, yada. And
Yeah.
so, anyhow, I got to 18, man, and when I got out, that's when everything started to, like, I got out full of PTSD.
From the prison?
Not from prison, man. Prison was a breeze. I went to prison in Miami.
Yeah.
Like, they fucked up and sent me to prison in my city.
Yeah.
Like, usually you go up the road somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
I went right down the street from my people's. Like, and when I got into the camp, I seen COs when we from high school. Like, oh, what's up, bro? Let me know when you want to. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was ready to do it. Like, I had it put it this way. When I went up in there, I had to lie about my time, bro. I went in there, I was like, man, I got 7 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be sitting there. I don't want anybody to know because everybody in there doing so much time.
Yeah. The envy and shit,
right?
Yeah. Nigga try to get your
I don't want anybody to think that I'm out of here in a couple minutes. Like, and especially, you know, folks know who I am and want me to go ahead and start moving shit and this and that. Like,
yeah.
So I'm like, no, let me just chill and get my boy who was in there. Last time I seen him, he fucked my Benz up. Trying to put a radio on that shit.
Fuck your shit up.
I ain't know you ain't supposed to put different radios in the Benz. Like,
you didn't know that, bro?
Tripping, bro. Ratchet
shit. Hey, look, it is what it is, though.
He supposed to be the tunes, man. He fucked my shit up. Anyhow, I see him in the camp, and he working outside squad, getting urban from my cousin.
Right.
Down the street. So I was smoking like a chief in there, but like I hadn't smoked for 2 years on the outside fighting my case.
Right.
That's where I started. That's where I got my benz. That's where the benzodiazepine injection came in. Like, I started popping Xans.
Nah, okay.
I couldn't smoke. I'm popping Xans and smoking cigarettes all them 2 years. And when I took my time, I quit all that shit cold turkey and almost died.
The withdrawals.
Yeah.
The withdrawals do
me
you
to a
dirty.
massive seizure, bro. And it took me like months. It took me like 2 weeks to even walk again. It took me months to even get my brain back, dude. Like, my brain was like crushed from 2 years of downing Xans, like a madman fighting charges, not even thinking about it.
For sure.
Just using it to keep me from going insane. You know what I'm saying? I was like stuck in a rut.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I quit. And then after I did seizure, but when I was in prison, I was smoking again, everything was cool. I got out of prison, and it took me it took me until my son was born, man. When I had my son, my son was born, right around that time I got serious.
Heard that.
Like, I was like, yo, I realized that I know all the stuff to keep me whole.
To keep you whole, okay.
Yeah, because my mother had kept me on it. My mother, mind you, before my ADHD and Tourette syndrome treatment came from my mother keeping my food whole, I stayed off medication my whole childhood because of my mother's holistic herbs, taking me off the things that, like, you know, I didn't drink milk. She kept me off of,
like, the cow milk, whatever that stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Like, because I was allergic to it. I'm just saying, there's a bunch of different. My mother was a holistic practitioner when I was growing up.
Right.
Which is how I saw it my whole life. So she enacted the stuff that she had learned and stuff on me. Kept me off a bunch of different pills and a bunch of different stuff. And, like, put it this way, man, I'm a black kid diagnosed with Tourette syndrome and ADHD. Like,
they deem you as crazy.
Right.
You
I could have been left
behind,
behind, bro. Sure. Yeah. But I'm up in gifted classes. You know what I'm saying? My mama's there, like, she's not letting this stuff take me.
Shout out to the queen.
Straight up, shout out. And she used herbs, and she found out what things need to be done. I'm always taking some sort of different type of herbal, or my diet is always being watched in some sort of way. She's obsessed with it, but it also taught me.
But it helps you though. Yeah. She doing what a mama would do though.
Right,
you know
right. If they had the knowledge that she had.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's how I got to understanding of the farming, the holistic healing, right, and then the ganja. Because ganja is like a second hand to me. Like, I mean, I spent my entire life sitting on pounds of that shit.
For sure. And you like isn't like cannabis and stuff like that's like a foundation plant when it comes to holistic medicine.
Right.
Like
As Dr. Uma says, Dr. Uma, and her last name starts with a D. I can't remember it properly.
Sorry,
not Umar. Dr. Uma. She's a doctor
sure.
out of Boston, and Atlanta as well, family doctor. She said it one time at one of her get-togethers that she believes it to be the base of all holistic medicine. And that's kind of how I look at it, you know, because when I got together, my son was born, and I started to understand that I need to be here for him, not like my father. I got to take care of myself, and nobody else going to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I can't just like look away from myself and do what I want to do, and I'll be out of here, and he won't have, and like, if you know me, my son homeschooled.
Hey, Prince gonna be one of the ones.
I don't want him going through what I went through, bro. You feel me? Like, I'm not down making the same mistakes as my ancestors.
Yeah.
So my goal became to stay here for him.
Yeah. So you like with your father now, you just like, nah, I'm gonna do it a whole different way.
Yeah.
And in that sense, you broke that generational curse though.
Yeah, I mean, in the aspect of trying to be active with it, like try to be an example. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to be an example, but living it.
Yeah, living it.
So that other folks can, like, you know what I'm saying, like see the value of it.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Heard that. So like, all right, so I'm gonna ask because I know me and you talk, you feel me? And shaman.
I sure.
I want you to for sure tell them your definition of what a shaman is.
Well,
because you basically have healed yourself, so I'm gonna throw that out there.
A shaman to me is, I don't consider myself a shaman. I consider myself a bush doctor, right?
Bush doctor, okay.
A shaman to me is like, rest in peace, Tellis. Let me give a shout out Chief Nighthawk.
Yeah.
That's a shaman to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, nah, pay much respect to Chief Nighthawk.
Right, right.
Yeah, he transitioned a couple days.
Right. That's somebody who is in connection with the spirit world. Now, mind you, that's how all medicine was. Before Babylon came around and our indigenous peoples understood all things as the same. Sickness is the same thing as evil. So if you were sick, it was evil spirits in you. So healing was considered magic, or good medicine. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was all intertwined. The problem is, I didn't properly find my connection, my indigenous side like that. It's inside my spirit.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't necessarily find my connection with it properly until I was like fighting charges and whatnot, and I had to like delve in it for my protection.
Isn't that crazy how you end up finding that you get that grounding during like the worstest situation?
Yeah.
Like,
I had no choice. I had to get them spirits with me, bro. I need the ancestors' help. You know what I'm saying? And straight up, now shout out to ancestors, because
much love.
That's how I beat the 30 to L, 30 years to life for 18 months. And I want to give all credit to that, because like there's, mind you, I was fighting them charges for 2 years in the streets where I couldn't leave, and all the police knew who I was. I'm talking about, I could have been gone, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there were so much different times that like I was supposed to be gone, and it's nothing but the ancestors, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm like, oh, that's it, bro. That's it, nah. And you feel me? Things didn't get found. Things would just disappear. Like, it's uncanny, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I come from a city that's deep with, spiritual. Miami is deep with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And if you ain't never felt the power of the ancestors, or like, really work with them properly, like, I advise you as a melanated person to, get there, man. Like, it ain't, it's a different animal. You know what I'm saying?
Do you believe in the Most High? Anything like that?
Absolutely.
Like, okay.
That's the Most High, is the energy to me. Like, the ancestors are midway.
Midway.
Like, that's what the understanding is. It's kind of like the Most High don't speak English. You feel me? Like, with the energy the Most High has to get translated for us.
Right.
And how do we do that in the human, as somebody who we knew in the human?
Right.
that connection, none of the answers are us.
So you're saying he's like the answers are like more like a funnel.
Yes,
to the Most High.
They're our connection to the high, to a place that our mortal mind can't comprehend.
That's a perspective. Okay,
we can comprehend the human that we knew. You feel me? We can comprehend their energy tapping into us and protecting us. But they're comprehending the stuff that we can't comprehend yet.
Yeah,
and they're and us respecting them is respecting the higher power. You feel me? It's like, okay, I'm getting like how they put the they put Jesus in the middle.
Yeah, I don't believe his name.
I'm just saying, like just how they put the Pope or a Catholic does it. You got to go to pray to them because they're the guy.
They understand, yeah.
Yeah, but nah, bro. Like we have our own connection. Like that's what the answers is about. Like that's our connection to the other world. That protection, and they're there to protect us. They want to hear from us. That's kind of the ideology that I understand.
Okay, heard that. So like, okay, so you don't consider yourself a shaman?
I consider myself a bush doctor.
Bushdoctor. So
a shaman.
Explain that Bushdoctor.
Right, a shaman is, and this is what. I forget what indigenous people say it, but there's an indigenous saying where a shaman is a sick man who healed himself.
Yeah, that's what the understanding I have of it too. Yeah,
right.
Heard.
Right. So, in that aspect, I am. You know, because I was definitely overweight, and even when I got out of prison, like I didn't really think about it properly. I just kind of got out, started eating anything. You know, it was just like so good to be free and just like smashing all type of different food and not really caring about it and getting back on the wrong track of my health. Although I knew how to be right, I wasn't paying attention to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was too riddled with all type of stuff, PTSD. I didn't have anything to focus me till that kid was born. You know what I'm saying?
That's what did it for you, for sure.
Yeah, that kid was born. I was like, oh, snap.
I got to get
you
this
could die, bro.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like, before he get a chance to even see you, like how it happened to you, I was like, all right.
You gonna leave your little homie behind?
Right. Sure. You see that? You saw it did to you, right?
Nah, I see the difference in Prince, though, bro. Like, I'm like, every time I see y'all two, I'll be like, damn, that's what's up. Cause, yeah, brother, like, real talk, bro. Cause just the way Prince, like, the way he communicates, bro, young, he communicate like a grown man, you know what I'm saying? He just real, like, you could tell he not like a, what they call a knucklehead, you know what I'm saying? He's not a knucklehead, yeah, for sure.
He good. He got a good understanding. He came back, man. He's a comeback.
Yeah, for sure.
Know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of them souls
like,
spirit. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to have that kind of. I couldn't handle a kid like myself, man. I'm glad he's like me in some ways, but the ways that I couldn't handle about myself, there's some stuff about myself I couldn't handle, and I think that kind of has to do with having a father around, man, because it was different when he was around. You feel me? It was different. Like when he passed, it was like I became man of the house, and it's just like
you built your own ideology of like who like, you are.
Right. A woman can't tell a man what to do, man. Like it's hard. It's what happens with these black women raising men is that they try to become the men. Yeah. And it makes them aggressive. Yeah, dude. And their relationship with their son becomes toxic almost because of that.
Like me and you talked about that, so like I feel like women who like they either start to whoop you more than normal, or they start to manipulate you. That's how I know my mom. But I didn't think she did it for me.
On purpose.
Yeah, but you do it because how can I control this strong-headed grown man to be?
Right, and it's not fair because they know that if you don't get it right, what this place got in store for you.
Right, yeah.
So they terrified with they're doing with also like not just like okay, let me just get him right. It's like
I'm scared. Yeah.
They're terrified with it.
It's still love. It's all love. Yeah, but they got heard that. Yeah.
And they really don't make us do more than like realize like we're gonna do our own thing because that fear don't translate well into that warrior spirit like that we all have inside of us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
My mom used to always, I tell you talked about my mom, man, the fear that my mom would try to put on me. She'd tell me if I go out, you know these boys got killed. I'm like, man, mama, I don't want to hear. Why you even tell me that right now? I don't want to hear that. Bro. That ain't gonna happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just that don't even resonate with me no more, like at all. It
turns into anxiety when we older, bro. Like that's all it do. Like we ain't gonna stop. Like really, we end up running face first into it sometimes to be, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because to prove fearlessness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that overdone fear makes us and try to feign fearlessness.
Right.
And do stuff and lose the caution we're supposed to have.
Yeah.
Because like I ain't gonna be scared.
And go out there, just run.
You feel me? And it's like really you need to be cautious.
Cautious more than scared,
Because we got that fear emblazoned to us, it's like now it's like, fuck it.
Yeah, you know, you heard that thing when they say fear lowers. I believe this, actually. I heard this during, COVID was I believe that was a fear campaign for sure.
Right.
But it said fear lowers the immune system.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
For sure.
Yeah, so I was like, how you feel about that? Like, just.
Yeah, fear lowers fear is a cortisol response, man. Like,
okay.
When people are in fear, it releases the cortisol chemical into their body. Mm-hmm. It's a toxin.
Right.
It's there for us to be in fight or flight. It's there for us to escape, and it can be good in small type of amounts. But if we're constantly getting flooded with that response, it toxifies us.
Yeah.
And creates, illness, bro. Mm-hmm. That shit ends up turning into plaque in the arteries and freaking heart disease and stroke and.
Heard that.
Yeah. It literally damages organs. It starts to damage things. Like, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm writing a book with doctors and a nurse, so I need to be right about this stuff. But
heard that.
It sends off it like cholesterol is built up by it. You get what I'm saying? Like cholesterol is there to like help things out. You feel me? Not to be in large amounts. But when you're sending when your body is in fight or flight and this thing has got to save itself, it's giving you extra of it, extra stuff like things that help you run and survive. Yeah. And that equals like the same thing if you're eating extra freaking fatty foods or something.
Yeah, for sure.
You feel what I'm saying? Like it turns into cholesterol, or it turns into things that harden your arteries or harden to your brain. So the fear response in any aspect is definitely debilitating. Yeah. And can be poisonous.
Good word. That's a good word. So I'm gonna go back a little bit. You remember when we first talked? I was really in the. I don't think I started the Grills Den yet. I don't even think I did. You remember I had a consultation over the phone, Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Video. You remember that?
Okay.
Long time ago. So you gave me some tips, holistic tips. I was for the viewers. You got some holistic tips that people can do at home, or like just any type of herb, or special herbs, just herbs that people can go grab.
For sure. The first thing I like to say is that people need to look around them first and foremost. Like, we're surrounded by herbs. Unless you're in the straight concrete jungle, and even then down the line, I'll grow through the concrete. But at the end of the day, unless you're in a concrete jungle, there are probably holistic medicines right in your front yard, right in your yard. No, get one of them apps and like look at the plants around you. Let's see what they are, because at the end of the day, I could tell you to, like most holistic healers can, or herbalists, go mess with the burdock root, go mess with the ginger. Essentials. You know what I'm saying? Go mess with the stinging nettle for the prostate issues. Mm-hmm. Mess with the ginger for your digestive and your lung issues. Mm-hmm. Your mullein for your lung and your respiratory system. Mm-hmm. Go look at your lemon balms and your mints. Your mint family herbs are very powerful for relieving yourself of immune system boosters. Yeah. Right? And relieving yourself of things that are caused by low immune system, say cold, cough, all these different things. Flu symptoms, yada, yada, yada. I could tell people all different type of herbs to use for different symptoms. But the reality is, if there are herbs in everybody's demographic, like,
yeah, Chinese herbs, African herbs, a whole bunch. Yeah.
The original peoples weren't like getting herbs from across the world. They were using the herbs next to them. Now, when you're getting stuff shipped to you, if I tell you to go get burdock root in the capsule, that is not going to be half as powerful as, say, dandelion root from your backyard.
Yeah, no, for sure, because it's growing from the ground.
Right. It's coming straight to you. That thing has been ground. It's been sent across. Things lose their, even for food example, loses its nutritional value in transit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when it comes to...
Nah, I was saying, so like, but okay, so this soil ain't, it's American soil, this ain't the best. Well, because some people, like I said, some places you go, the soil may not be the best or whatever, as far as the growth.
Some places, but here is good. Yeah. Georgia's an agricultural state. For sure. It's just you gotta, if you live in certain areas, like for instance, the area I live in is like got clay. It's like clay and rock. It's right by a mountain. You're gonna have to create a grow medium there because many plants are not gonna grow straight in clay. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to dig it out, put some trees and leaves in there, give it like a that's gonna break down, and then put your better soil on top of there.
That's a gem. That's a gem.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure, yeah.
A best thing, the thing that's gonna cost you the most when it comes to making your own garden or growing something is, if you're trying to make it big enough, is soil. So you want to see if you got like a tree company wants to drop off their mulch, because you drop off a bunch of mulch at your spot, in about after a while it's gonna break down into soil.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, word, yeah.
You feel me? So that tree mulch will eventually become soil, which you can use for your garden. It'll take about a year or so, and you may have to be using stuff in the meantime. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But once you get like that big pile of tree mulch soil, you can go ahead and start. You know what I'm saying? That's a tip for folks who want to actually start gardening and
start doing their thing.
Yeah, like
big gym though, big gym.
Right.
Big gym.
So the soil is gonna cost a lot over some time.
Yeah, I mean, like anything though.
Another tip is, that's going big. There's no reason to like think so big when it comes to starting out.
Right.
If you're gonna start out, think one plant. Think perennials. Look up perennial plants. Perennial plants are plants that you plant one time and it comes back forever. Yeah. I keep making posts about that right there. Yeah, like for example, mint, echinacea, lemon balm. These plants are considered weeds. They're the way they're prolific. Mm-hmm. When plants grow in a super prolific manner, they're considered they're labeled in the classification weeds. Weeds don't mean they have no value. Like a lot of these plants that are considered weeds are here because the Most High give us this medicine.
No, for sure, absolutely.
They don't want us to have it, like whatever the spirits are, whatever the energy is. We don't have to be looking far for the medicine, bro. Right. Like if we get sick, we go to the bush, right quick. It's right there. It isn't like food where you gotta go forage it and like it's a free. You gotta battle an animal for it and this and that. Like no, bro. Herbs are all around us. No, dandelion, big herb. That grows all over the place. Clovers grow all over the place. White clovers.
Yeah, you know, Stone Park got wild onions and stuff like that. They grow out there.
Onions,
I've seen that a couple times. Stone for sure.
They got all in my yard too, man. Like there's just there are a plethora of indigenous plants around most people, from pine needles. Everything around us can probably be used. Like it just needs to be investigated because there's some things that are toxins and poison. Yeah, right? I heard that. But there are way more things medicinal than poison. Even things that are poisonous in certain amounts have medicinal value in smaller amounts.
Small amounts, not heavy load for sure.
Some things are like, for example, apricot seed. Apricot kernel is got cyanide in it, and it's known for its ability to kill cancer. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like there are properties. Like you gotta think when they doing chemo, what they doing? They poisoning your ass. They poisoning the cancer and you to kill the cancer. So nature has that element. Everything that conventional medicine does, they learn from nature. Mm-hmm. Nature has the element of, like, for example, a duck flower. Duck flower is toxic. It's a toxic. You take too much of that junk, you could die. Right. But the right amount gives you a big time detox that rejuvenates your whole system. You know what I'm saying? So like that's one of Dr. Sebi's favorite talk about. Like, I'll just give an example of a popular one that is a poison / medicine. Hydrangeas have medicinal value in some amounts and poison in other amounts. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But everything in in moderation. I'm sorry. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, moderation. I mean, that's what
not everything, but some things.
Some things.
Yeah, okay. Definitely. Exactly. In that, like for example, there's even those snake venom therapies.
Yeah.
Where you do that. I haven't tried it myself and like that, and that's that shaman stuff right there. You know what I'm saying?
I almost did one of those.
I didn't do it. I want to do it with Nighthawk therapy, man, and I didn't get a chance to do it with Cheap Nighthawk, man.
Now we're gonna get it in though, bro.
For sure.
Somebody coming.
For sure. But that's like a example of like a poison being applied in the proper modality, and it treating some sort of ailments. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because it treats people's ailments and stuff. Like it helps with different things when they do it. And then you have that whole... The Flexner report came around, bro, and changed what we know as holistic medicine, man. This just happened... What we know as conventional medicine just came about 100 years ago, bro. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like, the Flexner report was written, funded by the Carnegie Group and the Rockefellers and all them, in like about 1910, and pretty much ended millennia of holistic medicine and brought in this, at the same time, they pretty much took control of the colleges and the educational system, and brought in this area of what we know as modern medicine, modern research. If everything doesn't go to these double-blind, this new era of research that they have created, it's not considered medicine anymore. They started locking holistic practitioners up. They started it got crazy. Like they implemented what we know now as the conventional medicine and turned millennia of holistic medicine into the alternative.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? So they really are just isolating nature, looking at nature, making chemical isolations of it, so that it can be patented
and then
for a profit.
Mass distributed.
Right, turned into a pharmaceutical.
Heard that.
And these are all based in these petroleum, the DuPont industries. Those are the ones, these medicines are petroleum based. You know what I'm saying? These are industries that they control.
Heard that, man. So, we got to get you back here, big brother. We got to.
Come on.
So much knowledge you got,
We ain't
my
gonna
brother.
do it no one time, bro. One hour ain't gonna do it.
Look, I knew.
That's why I say you give it for 1 hour, I'm just gonna flood on you, bro. Good luck. Good luck editing this guy.
Hey, look, brother.
You feel me? I told you.
But I wanted to crank out on some of these card deck right here. Just ask you a random question. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it.
You answer truthfully, transparent. You know how we usually talk.
Got you.
All right. Okay, it's a good one. I can dig this.
Nice.
You have 100,000. You have to donate or create a charity. What do you do? I feel like I know what you're gonna do.
Donate or create a charity?
Yeah, donate or create a charity. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna create the charity.
Of course. And what kind of charity you gonna create?
That's a good one. It might be it'd probably be something that's educational for the community. And it was about health and wellness.
Okay, yeah, for
It'd
sure.
probably be educational to educate the community about health and wellness. Like I'm really all into people doing things themselves. Like, you know, that's why I don't have a particular product yet. Like, and I'll drop some. Let me plug it right quick. The book just got finished. Just finished the book.
Oh yeah.
Why We Die, How to Live. All right, it's dropping.
Say that again. Why We Die.
Why We Die, How to Live.
Why We Die, How to Live. Okay.
Why We Die, How to Live. Just finished it. It's being sent right now to be peer reviewed.
Okay.
By some folks, by John Hopkins. I wrote it with Dr. Felicia Dawson and
Shout
Marilyn
out
Pierce, RN. Shout out Dr. Felicia Dawson. We were working about 3 years, and it's essentially a book that tells you that a book that compares conventional medicine to holistic and ancient medicine.
Okay.
It outlines the top 10 illnesses that kill us today in the Western world.
I'm digging that.
Which, unfortunately, come from lifestyle and diet. Like the top 10 killers of people in the Western society today come from diet and lifestyle, pretty much, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And we pretty much outline the conventional strategies to treating these things, and the holistic ones to not just treating them but preventing them as well.
Right.
Because when it comes down to it, like, you know, conventional medicine has one thing for you: they don't prevent. They're not focused on nutrition. It's wait till you get this condition, and wait to see the symptoms, and start throwing the medication at the symptoms.
At the symptoms, not the actual,
The symptoms.
There it is.
The only thing I think conventional or modern medicine has excelled in is emergency response. They'll save your life right quick and then charge your ass for the rest of that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what.
So it's conventional medicine and you know.
I heard that. Okay. Yeah. Hey, so say the book one more time.
The book is Why We Die, How to Live. Yeah. Right, and it's Dr. Felicia Dawson is a OBGYN holistic, dual board certified. Last I checked, OBGYN and holistic, integrative medicine doctor, and Marilyn Pierce, who is a 30-year registered nurse. And we came together on this project to kind of start the platform off of courses and different ways, or to help people understand how to treat and heal themselves.
Okay.
A quote. Loving it. You say you wanted a quote from me?
Yeah, your closing quotes, my brother. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, man. You hell, bro. But look, yeah. So I want you to. Okay, so what? Instead of a closing quote, what would you tell younger Oski? Right now, you can go back. Well, what would you tell him? He's sitting on the bed somewhere, probably whatever he's doing. What you gonna tell him?
Truthfully, man, I don't really I don't really have no regrets. So I don't really know. I know that everything that I've been through gave me the understandings that I have today. Every part of it.
Heard that.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's respect.
You know what I'm saying?
Heard that.
So like, I need all parts of that shit.
Okay.
I need all of it. I need all of it to be able to raise these next generations right. I need all of that to understand how to keep myself right. I need to understand every aspect I understand right now, and I couldn't subtract any parts of my life
Heard that.
and get it all that I get. You know what I'm saying?
So you heard that, so you need all that.
Right. I couldn't very well.
I'll show you for sure.
You
So,
know?
all right, well, if you can't give me that respectfully, what would you tell for young, because there's a lot of young cats in the game right now that's probably going through this as well, just the drug game. If they not in jail, they doing stuff, they're going to have them on the way to jail. What you got for them? What you got for anybody out here really trying to figure this thing out?
Look for good mentorship, man. Look for good mentorship, and don't believe what you see on that screen. Like, you feel me? Like, these kids don't understand repercussions a lot of times, you know? Like, look for good guidance, man, because we all need guidance and protection out here. And I think that the lack of guidance is what got me a lot of wrong places, and good guidance helped me out of a lot of that, you know what I'm saying, or got me back on the right track. You know what I'm saying? Things are so fast right now. It's so hard. It's hard to talk to these kids because it's like they're in a world that is going 10 times faster than it's supposed to. And they're seeing things, they're exposed to things, and that they didn't get a chance to really like break it down for themselves. It's like they're just throwing into everything. You know what I'm saying? So slow it down, man, I guess, and look for good mentorship, man. Look for folks who have your best interests in mind, you know what I'm saying, and not just looking for the next high or label to chasing blind money and toting guns for no reason. Like, it was crazy in my day, but like right now it's like, at least we knew the repercussions. I think a lot of these kids nowadays don't know repercussions. They don't understand it properly.
Yeah, not for real.
They're not getting it properly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't. A lot of these kids don't really want that life. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to not want that life, dude. Like, there's a lot of goodness, a lot of real cool down. You know what I'm saying? Dudes who ain't on the wrong path,
Right.
or who ain't, you know, feigning suicidal mentalities. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Heard that. That's what's
Feigning it, because these kids don't really want it. They just pretending. Like,
it's an infatuation with it.
Yeah,
They like the way it look. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they don't.
All this demon time and all this, like dude, like,
Them
you're
boys
not even ready for that.
Them boys
dude.
need a hug. They just need a hug for sure.
For real, dude.
That's love. Yeah. So, all right, man. So, let the people know where they can reach you at Instagram, all your socials, and where they can find you, man. Let them know.
My Instagram handle is Bushdoctor_Oski. That's Bushdoctor spelled regular, BUSHDOCTOR _Oski, OSKII. Plantsforlife.com. Sorry, Plantsforlife.
That boy done forgot it. Go ahead find it.
hold up.
You good, brother?
Let me get my business page up. It's plantforlife.co. That's PLANTSFORLYFE.co at Instagram. From there, you'll also find Marilyn Pierce and Felicia Dawson's, Dr. Felicia Dawson under Dr. Felicia, and Marilyn Pierce under Groundwork Before Poundwork.
Oh yeah, shout out, yeah.
Shout out the doc and the nurse.
Much respect, yeah.
The website is plantsforlife.com, PLANTS for life.com. If you don't, what plant stands for,
Never got the gear.
plant-based lifestyles and ancient nutritional treatment strategies, right?
Pinkham, right
So
there.
that's the acronym for my team.
Okay.
And that's kind of like what we stand on. You know what I mean? The book is Why We Die, How to Live. Kind of seeing how the ways that we're being, like, you know, the ways that are detrimental to us in the Western world, the top 10 ways we're dying.
And how we can fix them.
and how we can live to fix that properly. You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna
and
be
that's kind
epic.
of
That's gonna be epic.
yes, that's kind of the baseline of the underlining of the platform. Because it's plant-based lifestyles and ancient nutritional treatment strategies can help us to live better. Lead us to wellness.
There, I say, man, that's what's up, bro. That's gonna be epic, boy. I can't wait to get there. You know, you got me a coffee or somewhere, right? You got me something.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. You already know.
Right,
it's sent out to be. It's being peer reviewed right now.
Okay.
So like, because we did a ton of research. It took 3 years to write, and like everything. And Dr. Felicia not playing. Like she's a stickler about her shit everything being on point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So like she ain't putting her name on nothing that ain't
legit.
thorough.
None of
feel
y'all,
me?
yeah, for sure.
So it's off being peer reviewed at this moment, and when it gets back, we gonna start the we got publishers looking at it as it is, and we gonna start the process of getting it out there.
Okay. So Oski, like, you got any closing quotes for us today?
Sure. Right. I don't want to sell people water. You feel me? I know the water's at. I'd rather sell the directions to the river, and you go drink for the rest of your life.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole point of this education thing. Like, I don't want to necessarily sell no product and everything, man. I want to sell the education, and you heal yourself.
Much respect.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real though. That's real. That's real. A lot of folks, they just giving it to people. Some people taking stuff they just been told it's good for them. They don't even do research behind. Oh, it's good for me. Who told you that? So you know, what research, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
and we're supposed to be our own healers.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to necessarily have our life in someone else's balance. Like, that's emergency situations. Like, we're supposed to be able to heal ourselves and get access to the medicine we need, or we understand how to use the earth to implement our own wellness.
Absolutely, absolutely. I say, brother. So, all right, y'all. This has been the Don Diallo podcast. Y'all can find me on all social platforms at Who Is Rilla, WHOISRXLLA. The Instagram for this podcast is Don Diallo Podcast, DONDIALLO Podcast. You can find us on all platform podcasts that you can get us on. You can get us on there. And again, man, thank you, Oski, for pushing through, man.
Give thanks.
Hey, look, much respect. Nah, hey. You might hey, man, you know I love you, bro.
I appreciate you. I
Real
love you,
talk, man. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
But yeah, so it's your podcast, man. Brought to you by GateSevenStudios, my brother Bam. This has been the Don Diallo podcast. I'm your host, Big Rilla, and we out.
Sure.